Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Jay. Welcome back to my channel. So I want to finally do my first Tekken 8 tier list. This is going to be like a very fun tier list. This is not like going to be saying who's top tier or whatever. Like, I don't know. I don't even care about that yet. I'm still trying to learn the game. But yeah, so I wanted to do a tier list on the characters that I find to be the most annoying and irritating to play against, as well as those who I find to be really fun to play against. And I actually like, having these matches with. I had quite a bit of time playing the game now. I played against every single character, so I kind of get the gist of what to expect from each character that I play against. For those of you guys who don't know, my main is Ling Xiaoyu. Yeah, I will say it's kind of sad. Like, this is my first Tekken 8. This is my first tier list since Tekken 7. Like, just tier list in general. Whether it's like, this kind of tier list or difficulty tier list. And I do feel kind of sad to see that Julia and Lei Wulong are missing from this tier list. I mean, those were my other mains I played back in Tekken 7. Very sad to see. I feel some kind of way about that, but they will be back soon. So, yeah, so I want to go ahead and get started. I'll go in order. So, of course, keep in mind that this is coming from a Ling Xiaoyu main's perspective. So, you may not agree with all these because Xiaoyu has some really special challenges when it comes to fighting against some of these characters, and Jack is a very perfect example. So we're going in order from how they're listed. So Jack is a character that has very long limbs, a lot of damage, reaches all the way across the screen, and could be really hard to approach. And Xiaoyu is known for having the worst range in the game. It's very easy to whip against Jack. Her approach is not the best. Did it improve in Tekken 8? I don't think her approach improved in Tekken 8. I think maybe I'm missing something. Maybe it did. Nothing that I can think of right offhand, but I know her pressure has gotten a little bit better, but still not good pressure for a Tekken 8 character in general. Jack is also really not really difficult, but it's also kind of tricky to do certain lows on Jack, given that his hurt box on his legs are kind of far away from the opponent. So Jack is a very irritating matchup for me. But I don't know. I kind of like the challenge. I feel like it's fair. Like he is irritating. I don't particularly like fighting against him, but I feel like I'm able to learn, and it challenges me in a way. It challenges me in a different way, in a way that to where I don't feel that I don't feel like the rounds have just been stolen from me. You know what I'm saying? Like Jack, I guess the thing about Jack is it's challenging, but it's good practice, and it helps me, develop better fundamentals and be more creative with Xiaoyu. But I don't feel that Jack, and I hope this ages well, I don't feel that Jack is a very busted, overpowered character to where I don't feel like it's an unfair matchup, because he does have his weaknesses as well as his strengths, and same for Xiaoyu. So I would say Jack is whatever. I'll say Jack, they're cool. They're cool. This is not a good matchup for Xiaoyu, but I actually don't mind fighting against him. Jin, I like fighting against Jin. I find Jin really fun to play against. I feel that he's, relatively honest compared to all the other characters in the game. He is very good. I take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. I do think he's one of the stronger characters in the game, and I feel that move down 2 in particular, that move have quite a bit of beef. I feel his down 2, it recovers way too fast. It's very good, and it launches on counter hit, and it recovers so fast. I don't even know, the only punisher I was able to do on it was while standing forward. I mean, is there a better punisher I can do? Is it more unsafe? What are the frames on it when it's blocked? Because I was not able to do too much with it from my experience. But I like fighting against Jin. I feel like he's relatively honest. I feel like his movements look really natural. He's not darting all the way across the screen like a Lars player. And just very solid gameplay. When I fight Jin, I feel like it's a really old fashioned martial arts battle. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's really a battle about skill and strategy and just playing fundamental Tekken, I guess. June, I don't object to her too much. I'll say that she's cool. I feel that I don't mind her having I think the projectiles she has are cool, but they could be quite difficult to deal with sometimes. But I think it matches her style, and I like how they implement it. Like, it really goes with her personality, and it's really like, cool. Yeah, I like June. I do feel that she's very strong. So sometimes I do feel like it's not a completely fair matchup, but I mean, I don't object to June. I like June. I like fighting against her, and she's not a character. I mean, yes, she has a lot going on, but I don't think she's a character that I really struggle with. Like, I don't feel like, I don't know. I mean, I haven't, to be honest, I haven't fought a whole bunch of Junes, so, but I don't feel like she's a character that I just feel that is stealing the round from me or stealing the game from me, contrary to what other people may think. Like, I find her to be, pretty fun to fight against. Kazuya, very irritating. All Kazuya players do are the hell sweeps, and then all this 50-50 okizeme. I can never get up. Everything's super explosive. Kazuya is very irritating to fight. I know he's allegedly honest, apparently. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. I just see a whole bunch of hell sweeps and just 50-50s, and that's really annoying for me. And that was really annoying back in Tekken 7, because when I would play Xiao Yu. Well, even when I played Xiao Yu too, but especially when I played Julia, Julia's a very unsafe character. So, and when I say unsafe, I just mean like everything, like a lot of moves are either launch punishable or they're like -13 or -14. And when you have a character like Kazuya who's able to just knock you down from a -10 move, I believe, right? I know Jin can, but I know Kazuya can as well. And not only that, everything is just so explosive and just so, everything's a mix of 50-50. I'm always guessing wrong. Then you have a hell sweep. So yeah, I don't like fighting Kazuya. Very irritating. King, they're cool. King is cool because I feel like, I don't know, there's just something special about fighting against a King player that's always trying to grab you, but I'm able to do like just AOP and avoid it and then blow them up. That something just feels really rewarding about that. Actually, he's really fun to play against, actually, because of that. Like, I like fighting against King. I do feel like he's really good in this game. Throws are very strong, and he has absurd damage. His damage is a little bit insane, in my opinion. But I mean, I feel like him and Xiao Yu are like complementary types of characters. They're like, can they be any more opposite? I like fighting against King. I find it really fun. I mean, he's a cheesy character. Xiao Yu's a cheesy character, but they still have their strengths and weaknesses, and they do have a degree of honesty, contrary to what people may think. Lars, an absolute nightmare. I hate playing against Lars. I don't like his movements. I think his movements it's called dynamic entry and silent entry. I hate those stances. I think they look so ridiculous. And I feel like his stances and his mix-ups, like, I don't know. From what I'm like playing against him, I feel like the little inputs to go into the stances are doing all the work. Like, I feel like I guess what I'm trying to say is I feel like he's a carry character, kind of. Like, I don't know. I feel like, because Xiao Yu's stances are really complicated and really require a lot of strategy and skill, and like, you have to really be precise with what you do within Xiao Yu's stances. But I feel like Lars' stances, like all the movement, it just confuses people, and then you press a button by accident, you explode, and then I don't know. I feel like it doesn't require it. It seems really, I don't want to say brain dead for you Lars players, but it seems it seems like it's really carrying a lot of people with Lars. It seems like it comes off as if a lot of these Lars players don't know what they're doing, because they're constantly going into dynamic entry, silent entry, doing a mix of, like, it's just like non-stop, and it feels as if like they're just trying to like fish for something and see what pulls. I don't know if that's a good analogy, but Law, he's very irritating, and I say that because, well, let me ask you guys this. Can somebody please in the comment section tell me what is Law's weakness in this game? Because I know back in Tekken 7, his weakness was his range. That was something. But I feel like his nunchuck moves kind of alleviate that weakness he had with his range, because that reaches so freaking forward, and it even hits me when I'm on the ground. And he's always in with the easier DSS input. Every law play is always in DSS. They're always in positive frames. It's just always pressing buttons, always pressing a lot of cheesy strings. He's very irritating to fight. Like, seriously, I do not like fighting Law. Very annoying. Paul. I would say Paul is cool. The only reason he's fun to play against, but he's not really fun to play against. I would say he's cool just because I feel, for a lot of the same reasons I feel about Jin, I feel that Paul is like, I like that he uses like a really cool looking martial art, and I feel like it's a really like fundamental type of fight. The only thing I just don't like is I mean, I get it's his identity, but I don't like the amount of damage he takes from just doing Death Fist and then Demo Man, and I think the damage is absurd. It's like, if I guess wrong, then you pretty much lose half your health or more. But he is fun. I mean, I don't think he's overpowered. I mean, maybe he is in his own way. I mean, I think every character is kind of overpowered in this game, but I feel like it's a fair match. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like fighting against Paul. I don't feel like I struggle, or I don't feel like my wins are like super hard to come by, or that my losses are like, I'm saying like way too much. I feel that Paul is a fair character to fight against. Okay. Nina, I hate fighting against Nina. Absolute nightmare. It seems like all Nina players play the same. They mash the same buttons. She seems to always have some. It's like she's never done with her moves. Like, she's always doing some string and just so many cheesy strings. Xiaoyu mirror matches. She actually is kind of annoying to fight against. I'm not gonna lie. Not irritating, annoying. I think I'm gonna put her in is whatever. I like doing mirror matches with Xiaoyu. It's always fun to like see who's better at the character, right? It's always more fun. It's always fun to do that. She can be really irritating to fight, but she can also be very fun to fight against as well. And I'm just saying that, I mean, she's irritating for, obvious reasons with the evasion and the tricks, but really fun to play against in that she, like, I know the matchup, so I know her weaknesses, and it's like, I'm really able to, I think it helps me a lot with my fundamentals because I know, like, a lot of the ins and outs with this character, and I'm able to apply that. And it's always cool, beating a Xiaoyu player. I mean, I play her, but, I mean, I know the reputation she has, and it's cool when you're able to put another one in their place. Asuka, irritating. And I say irritating because I feel like for the similar reasons as Lars. I mean, her movement is pretty natural looking. It's not obnoxious, but I find her to be so brain dead. Like, Asuka players it seems like they just be mashing buttons. Leroy can go right there as well. Leroy is also very irritating. He's not a nightmare to fight, but he's very irritating. It seems like I don't know, very not fun to fight in my opinion. Lily is annoying to fight, but I feel like she's also fun. I feel like she's pretty fair. You know what I'm saying? And I really enjoy the challenge. So I actually might move Lily to being kind of cool to fight. She is pretty cool to fight. She's a character that has her strengths and weaknesses, and I feel that, as I learn the matchup more, I'll get better fundamentally. And I don't know, I just don't feel like, I mean, she's annoying. She is quite annoying, but I think overall she's cool because I don't feel like things are being stolen from me, and I feel like she challenges me in a way to be more patient and to really like think and strategize. So I think she's cool. Nightmare. Do I need to say why he's a nightmare to fight against? Very cheap. Always has plus frames. Take a whole bunch of damage. A whole bunch of different mix-ups. It's never your turn. Just endless. Just button, mash. I tried, playing as him before because I was like, well, I might like him. I don't like playing her. I don't like playing against Hwoarang. and I don't like playing as Hwoarang, because even when I do play as him, it seems like I always find myself just mashing buttons endlessly, just using plus frames and mix-ups, and it's just not fun to me. So he's a nightmare to play against. Yeah, I don't think I need to explain anymore. Claudio, he's kind of whatever. Oh, what just happened? Okay, yeah, I don't know what that was. Claudio is kind of whatever. I think he's very strong, but I think he's also really fundamental as well, like very generic. So, but strong. I feel that while running 2 move is way too strong in this game. I don't know why even in the last game as well. But I think he's whatever. The hop kick always pisses me off though. That's why I can't say he's cool. Azucena, this is our first new character. I think she's cool. You know, she's pretty cool to fight against. I don't have anything against her. That wild running move is, I don't know the input for it, is this wild running move that almost looked armored. It seems to recover so fast. I thought it was OP, but I've kind of figured out how to deal with it. You just like jab and it floats her. Like, who'd have thought it, right? Yeah, I don't have a problem with Azucena. I think she's fun to fight against. I like her gameplay. I think her fighting style looks pretty cool, and I think she's actually my favorite newcomer out of the 3 newcomers in Tekken 8. Actually, Raven, absolute nightmare. I don't like the teleportation stuff, and not only does he have teleportation, he has this thing where he has all these multiple clones just hitting you. It just looks ridiculous. It looks too much. It's too much to deal with. Not fun to deal with. Yeah, Raven is not fun to fight against at all. He's an absolute nightmare. Dragunov is cool. I would say that is he really fun to fight against? I would say he's really fun to fight against, actually. I would say he's really fun to fight against. I do feel like he's very overpowered. I feel like I do, honestly, because I played as Dragunov, I have quite a bit of experience playing as him, and I played against him, and I feel that Dragunov is very overpowered in this game. Do I think he needs to be nerfed? Probably, but so do many other characters. But I'm going to let the developers worry about that at this point in time. I feel the game is still really new and fresh to really know who's like top tier and bottom tier right now, because there's just so many different things to consider, like the whole heat mechanics, mix-ups, frames, so much to consider. But Dragunov is very fun to fight against. I think the only thing that makes me lose the only thing about this game that makes me not like fighting against him is just the damage output is quite high. But I mean, you know, that's Dragunov. But as far as like the matches themselves, the matches are really fun to fight against. The Bears, I would say they're very irritating to fight against. Especially as Xiao Yu, it's like the same challenges as Jack. Unlike Jack, though, the Bears are very trickster based, and that is not fun at all for me to fight against when you already are a good opponent against Xiao Yu. Like, they have long range, great damage, a whole bunch of mix-ups. It's hard to hit their legs, that their leg hurt balls. In fact, I think they just made made like a behavioral nerf on the Bears to where it's slightly easier to hit their legs, because that's always been like a part of them that was kind of hard to get around. Xiao Yu does not have great range, obviously, so it's hard for her to get in, hard for her to approach them, and they just have a whole bunch of bags of tricks, and nobody knows the matchup because they are like the least played characters. Kuma has been recovering quite a bit in the usage lately, which is quite surprising, but Panda is still to this day the least played character, but they're there anyway. Leo, irritating. I'm sorry, you guys, I'm biased. Every time I look at this character, I'm always thinking that they took Julia's spot. I'm always thinking, why couldn't Julia be in the base roster over Leo? You know, and I say that because they both do like Baji Quan type martial arts. You know, honestly, I think, why couldn't they make Leo's father be the playable instead of Leo. I found his father in the game to be much more interesting than Leo himself. Like honestly, if Leo's father was a playable character doing Baji Quan, like that would be pretty dope. I would actually play Leo's father. What was his name? It was just Mr. Lyson or something. But I like, yeah. But as far as Leo, very irritating to fight. And the reason why, okay, I'll give the reasons why. I don't like the way that his movement looks. What's that pose or that stance that they all do? It's like they always go back with their leg lifted up and just do like either a mid, high, or a low. That's very ugly to me. And it seems like that's what all Leo players do. They just do that constantly. Just that same just that same little string. It's like, you guys do something else, seriously. And it's just, it looks stupid to me. The character has really great damage, a little bit too much damage if you ask me. I don't like Leo. I find them very irritating to fight against. Shaheen's really fun to fight against, and I think this is kind of for what I said about Claudio, like very fundamental, generic type of character. Really helps me, kind of really challenging for me because Shaheen has really long limbs. So he seems to be a really solid character. Do you guys like Shaheen, by the way? I was thinking about not maining him or nothing, but just trying him out. I feel like we talked so much crap about Shaheen ever since he was released because literally nobody asked for him and nobody wanted him, and it shows in the usage data as well as the views for his trailer. Like nobody gives a crap about Shaheen, but I'm always looking to try out a new character just to experiment with. But I feel like playing against him is like a really honest fight, really fun. There's like a lot of skill involved on his end as well as my end. I'm a skillful Xiaoyu player too. Okay, I don't just use a bunch of cheap stuff. But I like fighting against Shaheen. Steve is another one. Where'd I put Steve? He can be kind of annoying though. Steve's cool. I respect that he's a strong character. He really is, and the Tekken 8 system works really well for him. But he does have weaknesses. So again, I feel like it's a fair fight, and I think he is stronger than Xiaoyu in this game. I think so. I mean, I don't know a whole bunch about him, but he seems. I was fighting a Steve player earlier. I think it might actually be on my I might post it on YouTube actually, some gameplay I did. But I like fighting against Steve. Yoshimitsu, I hate fighting against this character. Absolute nightmare. I love Yoshi. He's like the only character in this game that I give a pass for doing all the teleportation craziness, and that's only because it makes him, and he was in the game since forever, and I think, I like it for him, but he should be the only one in my opinion to do that. But with that being said, I hate fighting against him. I never know what's going on. It's too confusing. I hate the unblockable moves. I hate Flash. Very annoying. I don't know what he's doing. Feng is whatever. Actually, no, he's irritating. He's really, really good. I feel like it's not a fair fight when I play against Feng. At the same time, for whatever reason, maybe it's the Feng players I play against, but I don't feel like I have a big disadvantage from winning with him. I mean, he does have an answer for every single thing, like literally, but I don't know. I don't feel he is irritating, but not irritating at the same time. I feel like I'm able to tell what he's doing, and I don't know. I don't really object to him as much as I thought I would. Like he could be annoying to fight against, and the only reason he would be annoying to fight against, honestly, is just because he's always been very, very overpowered, in my opinion. I feel like that's the only thing that makes him irritating. But I feel like everything else about him, like his gameplay himself, and just everything about him is actually pretty cool. And it's actually kind of fun, but I can't put him at fun to play against because it could be annoying. But I can't put him as a nightmare because it is kind of fun. So he'll go into whatever. It's kind of like a neutral. It depends on what kind of day I'm having, actually. Alisa. Alisa. She's very irritating to fight against. I feel that she's too explosive, has too many craziness. A lot of Alisa players play very recklessly. I mean, I'm pretty good with this matchup. I usually do find myself being able to win, but I feel that she is too. And I like her for that. I like that she. I don't mind her. I like that she has chainsaws and the flying and being able to do the head bomb thing. I like her, but it's just it's irritating to fight against. Let's see, Devil Jin. He's really fun to fight against. I mean, there have been quite a few times where I'll just start screaming at my computer fighting against Devil Jin, but I don't object to him. I would say for similar reasons as to Jin, he's fun to fight against. He is more similar gameplay wise to Kazuya, but I don't know why. For some reason, when I play against Devil Jin versus when I play against Kazuya, I don't find Devil Jin as annoying or irritating to fight against. And it could be because I mean, he's not exactly like Kazuya. Like, Kazuya is like strictly 50-50s and explosive. I feel like Devil Jin has that, but I feel like he has a little bit more nuance to his gameplay, and I find it more fun. Lee. I think this is also one of Xiaoyu's worst matchups. He's a keep out character. He's keep out and he's evasive. And he has good, pretty decent damage. Better damage than you would think. Very execution heavy though, but he's kind of irritating to fight against at Xiaoyu, to be honest. He's kind of irritating. He is, because it's hard for me to get in. And then when I finally do get in, he's always evading things, especially when he does his hitman stance or just whatever. Like, just his movements and like his transitions in general are very evasive, and he's very. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Lee Chaolan. Like, he's one of my favorite characters in the game. Like, not to play as, but just as a character. I respect him as a character as a whole. But I was playing Lee earlier today, and it was kind of irritating. So yeah, Zafina, absolute nightmare. This is a character that, I mean, it's quite obvious why I put her there. She is, nobody knows what she's doing. She's not used much. Just the movement looks quite silly to me. I'm not really sure what they were going for. I guess they were trying to go for like the creepy type of mystical lady movement. I'm not sure. Yeah, she's an absolute nightmare. I don't like fighting against Zafina. Okay, so let's do Bryan, and then I'll do the two new characters last. So Bryan is whatever. No, he's cool. No, Bryan. I always feel like he was too strong. But he does have weaknesses. But I thought the plus frames that he has is a bit ridiculous. But, I mean, he's definitely no Yoshi or Hwoarang. Bryan's cool, I guess. In my opinion, his moves are a little too oppressive. I guess a lot of plus frames he get, and it's always like I'm never really able to tell when it's my turn. And he's a keep out character as well, so that's also, not good for Xiaoyu, who has trouble getting in and has not so good range. But I feel like there's a lot of honesty required with Bryan as well, though. So I don't feel so. Even though I think he's a really strong and just a really good counter to Xiaoyu, it feels fair, if that makes sense. And I'm still thinking about Lee being here. I mean, you guys are gonna hate me. I think, I mean, despite everything I said about Lee like being an counter to Xiao Yu, as well as just being just annoyed with all those little pokes and evasion, I have to say it is fun to play against. It does it's kind of like Jack, like it does challenge me in a good way. And I think that's because, like I said, because these are two honest characters, and they require. I could say what I could say about Lee players, despite Lee being a bad matchup for Xiao Yu, the Lee players I fight against with Xiao Yu, they're usually very, very solid and very skillful, and I really do respect that. And I mean, he's fun to fight against. Reina, she's she's fun to play against, and I think that's mainly because like she's new. Well, not just because she's new, but because Reina she's a character that I've been putting in the lab quite a bit. So I think it's kind of like an experiment for me, honestly. Like I'm trying to get used to her, and I found quite a few ways to counter her. I feel that Reina, I feel like she has some questionable properties on some of her moves. It seems like a lot of her moves are either safe, or if they're not safe, they have really questionable frames. Like she has this, I don't remember the inputs, you guys, but she has this one launcher that's -12 on block, which I think that should be more unsafe. Now, granted, even though it's a launcher, I'm not sure if it grants full combo damage. Like it might be like one of those launchers that have limited damage, but still -12. It's really safe. It's the move where she like launches, where she pushes on her arm up like really high. I forgot the input. I think it's back something. I really don't remember. But yeah. And last but not least, Victor. He is the biggest absolute nightmare in my whole life in Tekken 8. I hate fighting against Victor. I hate the teleportation. I hate the guns. I hate the daggers. I hate everything about this character. I like how he looks. I thought he looked cool, and I thought he would have had a cool fighting style. I was mad when before his trailer came out. I was thinking that maybe Victor is going to be like his fighting style would be a combination of like Dragunov and Nina. So I thought that could have been really interesting and cool. But no, he fights just like Noctis and Kunamitsu and Raven, and I do not like those characters. I don't like fighting against those characters. Very irritating. I cannot tell the hurt or the hitboxes on his moves. Like I can't. Sometimes it's hard to differentiate a low from a mid and a mid from a high. It seems like a lot of Victor players online it seems like they just press endlessly. Like just press. Like his strings never end. Very obnoxious person to fight against. Yeah. So I'm just looking at this list. Let me just see if I need to adjust anything to it. Yeah, let me see. I think everybody's in a pretty decent spot. I think I think this is pretty telling of how I feel about these different matchups. It's a lot more. It's almost symmetric actually. It's very balanced actually. I have like almost. In fact, I feel like I should move someone from very irritating to is whatever. Is there anybody here that's more neutral? I don't think any of the characters in very irritating screen is whatever though. The only one I could probably put there would be Asuka, but I would be lying because she's very irritating to fight against. Is there anybody here that I find irritating? That's very irritating that does not belong to here. She's good. He's good. Good. Okay, these are all good. These are pretty good. Kind of neutral. And the irritation starts here. Yeah, these are the irritating. Yep. I think this is pretty good. This is like a lot more. It shows that I'm very tolerant of a lot of characters I fight against, which is really good because I was scared that when I did this video, I just kind of winged it. And I was thinking I was probably going to have like a whole bunch of characters and irritating, but I know it's pretty balanced, pretty fair. So yeah. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Is there anybody here that you think is irritating, or anyone that you like fighting against? Anything that you disagree with that I said? Yeah. So let me know what you guys think, and make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.